everybody, welcome to my plan with me for the week of April 14th through the 20th, aka 420 week. So I am using this Mary Jane kit from Bunny Bear Plans. This is such unique art. She came out with it last year, but I think it might have been after April, or I already had April stuff picked out. So I did get the brunette fashion add-on. And I did get her ultimate or deluxe kit. I don't remember which it's called, but the bigger one. And I realized as I was looking through this in my lineup that this is probably way more than I'll ever need for a week. But yeah, she's very generous with her format. So I will have tons of leftovers to use. But for foils, since it's pretty much just pinks and greens in the kit, I guess there's a little bit of purple, I picked out a mixture. But first I just want to show, I pulled in this Best Buds sheet from Carly Plans because it is the same color scheme. It perfectly matches, and I don't think that was intended, but worked out great. So I do PR for Carly Plans, so if you use Laurel15 or put my name in the notes, you will get this freebie, just in a random colorway. So yeah, these are going to definitely get pulled in, maybe for work or, stuff like that. But foil, I chose Hunter Green and Pink Hollow. So I do have just this foil bundle in Hunter, and then these solids are going to be Pink Hollow. So I think the Hunter is going to look really good over that. Let's hope so. But I feel like it's not really a questionable choice as far as foil, so I think it's going to turn out well. But I will see you in the day by day. Hey everybody, I know I already said that in the intro, but it feels like it's been, actually I think it has been months since I filmed that. So this is how the vase turned out. I am loving it. I think the hollow looks better in person, but that's not to say it looks bad. It just looks more hollow in person. I don't know. I don't know how to film anymore, so we'll see how this goes. But I did go ahead and fill in the sidebar. I've got deco. I've got the script that's from a closed shop, but all of these are from Carly Plans, which all of the little icons that basically look like they were made to go with this kit are from Carly Plans. And I did just want to show a couple of sheets. This Strawberry Goose one would have looked really cute with the kit. I just found it after I'd already pulled stickers, but it would be a fun one. I think the colors work really well. And then this, I am not 100% sure if I have these in shop still, but I did pull in the pink Valentine's Day TVs because I thought they looked kind of they fit the aesthetic, in my opinion. So getting into the plans, on Monday, I drove home. So I think I had been staying with Sarah. Let me look. Oh, yeah. That was the crew game I went to. Okay. Yeah, so I drove home from Sarah's, and then once I got home, I had to drop off Brian's car because I feel like I didn't film this, but I got into a minor car accident. I was fine, but the car did need repaired, so dropped it after that. I finally the appointment was finally scheduled. So after that, I got home and just unpacked because I had just dropped my stuff off and left to go do that, because it wasn't a specific time of the day appointment. It was just, you can drop it off this day. So I wanted to get it in as soon as possible because we only have one working car currently. So after I unpacked, I just marked that I was really anxious. I have no clue why. I was probably sleep deprived because I know that like, we got home kind of late after the game, but then I stayed up really late, like, texting Domi about it because it was just such a good experience, which I did film a plan with me for that week, so I need to not go on about that right now. I was probably anxious because I was sleep deprived. That's most likely what was happening. Then I did watch some Ted Lasso, and I worked on editing. I marked that I was in pain. I was having a lot of ankle and back pain this day, which I only know because I wrote it down. I pretty specifically track my pain just because of having chronic pain, and I have doctors I need to like track it for, but also just for myself so I can kind of know and look at patterns. But anyway, that's probably not that interesting. But then I did mark that I had TV time, so I'm wondering if I just watched a bunch of, oh yeah, I did. I was like catching up on everything, so I watched Abbott, Ghosts, Watson, which I loved Watson. I think there is going to be another season of that, and I'm very excited. Grosse Pointe Garden Society, which is on Peacock, and I really liked that show. I think it's a fun one, and I guess just look up the synopsis. I don't know what they tell you in like the first episode because my memory is terrible. Anyway, I like it. And then the last thing I did that day, or I marked that day, was I organized some stickers. So just like a chill night after what was a very busy weekend beforehand. So for the stickers this week, all of the like marijuana related stuff is from a sheet that I think is called Best Buds from Carly Plans. Then let's see. Oh my gosh. What am I even saying? I'm on Monday and I'm like almost 9 minutes into this video. So this is going to be a fun one to edit, but most of the stickers are from like Carly Plans, My Shop, and a lot of them are probably otherwise from closed shops, but like that one's from Leonard Designs. This is from Bunny Bear Plans. I do have some icons from her shop too, which is where the kit's from. Don't know how much I'm going to be seeing where everything's from, so I just wanted to like throw that out there for now because my brain's a bit of a mess. So Tuesday, the first thing I marked is that I slept in, and it's funny because I was talking to, I think it was Casey from Let It Go and Plan. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just dropped a sticker on another sticker off camera. And she was saying something about like, I don't know how I have more stuff to mark in the days. And I was like, well, yeah, but my life's really not that interesting. And she's like, but you work for yourself. It's like, yeah, but I also, I don't know. I just feel like I'm marking pain in TV shows. And like, I don't know if that's interesting, but we're still here. So anyway, I don't even know if that was coherent, but I slept in and then I did some more editing. It looks like I was editing a plan with me this day. And then Brian had like a cookie from, I think it was Papa John's maybe. They had like a big cookie thing. And so I microwaved a piece for him, but I think I did it for like 2 minutes or something. I really have no concept of what, like how much time makes sense for things like that. So it was way too long because it was just one piece of a cookie. And so I burned it and I was just like really mad about it because it's going to be a miracle if this gets uploaded. But anyway, so I was frustrated about that. So that's why I put the well shit sticker. And then I did my weekly to-dos. So I was kind of setting up my week. I usually do that on Monday mornings. I usually try to do it on Monday mornings. I guess I should say I haven't been very consistent lately, but since I wasn't home on Monday morning, I did it this day. So Then I watched You. I was doing a rewatch of it. I think I started it this week because the new season was going to come out, so I wanted to rewatch the show because I had watched it all, but I didn't think I had. I had watched season 4 and then apparently promptly forgot everything about it. So when I started watching it, I was like, this feels familiar, and then I was a little bit confused about something in the first episode because I did remember the ending. I just didn't realize I remembered it. That sounds like I'm unwell, but if you've seen this show, you might know what I'm referring to, and if you haven't, I'm trying not to spoil it. So I then marked that I had a tummy ache. I watched the premiere of The Valley, which I can't believe it has been this long since it premiered, like the new season. And I was doing some planning this evening. So the knife sticker is from my shop. I think, use that pretty much every day that I marked watching You for it because I just thought it was fitting. And then on Wednesday, I woke up and we had no power. I don't think we had a storm or anything. I think it was just randomly out this day, which I've talked about it a little bit I think I actually talked about it in a haul video, so I'm not going to go on about it. But when we did get power back, I watched the Valley after show because the show actually airs on Tuesdays, but on Wednesday it's up on Peacock, and then they put up the after show as well. So I had tried to watch it like as it was coming out, but I don't think I've done it more than maybe twice. If you watch The Valley, DM me because this season there's just a lot to talk about. Then I watched some more You. I think the new season was coming out like this Friday, I want to say. I could be wrong. Maybe it was the following week. Honestly, I'm not even going to pretend I know. It was coming out soonish, and I wanted to watch all of it again. So I was also working on journaling in my planner, and yeah, I guess that was pretty much what I was doing at the time. So then I did watch It's Always Sunny and had McDonald's for dinner with my husband. We were watching Sunny for like a really long time because got like 17 seasons, something like that. And it's still going on. So it took us a really long time to get through it. I had seen it all, but he had not. He'd only seen episodes here and there as I watched them. So that was a fun one to go through. And then I marked again that I was in a ton of pain. Marijuana is legal in Missouri, like just in general, but I do have a medical card. So I was trying to mark when I was in pain because I would take a gummy. But then when I was pulling stickers, I forgot that was why I was doing it. So also, I don't know why I said It's Always Sunny. That was on Thursday. Wednesday, I was watching Ted Lasso. So I was very motivated to film this video today, and then I tripped and fell, but I still wanted to film it, so I think that might be why my brain is a little bit chaotic. So after I marked that, I did mark finishing a book. I finished Practice Makes Perfect, which is part of the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams, and I really love her books. I used to think I didn't like romance novels, but I really just don't like reading spice. So now I've discovered that there is romance I like. So I don't know what I gave that as far as stars. I know I really enjoyed it. Thursday, I took a shower. I don't know why I marked that. I must have just not had a lot to mark that day because it's not something I typically mark in this planner. But then I had a vinyl sesh. I was listening to my Post Malone tribute to Nirvana, I think. And I don't want to be like... I love Post Malone. I love his music. I think he's really talented. I got that record as like a consolation prize for me because I didn't get any of the records I wanted for record store day. But if I'm being completely honest, it was pretty underwhelming and I might sell it because I just think someone else might enjoy it more than me. And I think part of it might just be that I don't know Nirvana's music as much, but like I have a couple of live recorded albums from other artists and I can basically close my eyes and feel like I'm in a concert. So I think it's probably a combination of like recording quality and then also my connection with the artists. Like the other artists are just ones I really have. I've been to concerts of. I really connect with their music. Not that I don't connect with Posties, but I just think Nirvana's, maybe I don't. Anyway, that is from my shop. I'm very excited to have them. I got requested to make those and I basically was like, yeah, let me just expedite it because I already had a plan to make them for myself. So the next thing I marked is that the power was out again, which was fun because it wasn't like first thing when we woke up and my husband had a meeting and he works from home. If I haven't talked about that, I don't know for sure if I have, but was out randomly. They were doing some repairs from when we did have storms, but nobody told us that ahead of time, so that would have been nice. But it wasn't out for too long, so when it came back on, I did watch some more You. I did some planning, and then we watched It's Always Sunny while we had dinner. This was the day. And then I organized some stickers and I played Emoji Blitz. I thought that this was a funny icon to use for Emoji Blitz. I don't know. It's probably silly, but I was just trying to use all of the icons on this sheet, which I did this week because I don't know what else I would use some of them for just because I don't smoke, but the lighters were perfect for power out, so that's kind of a happy coincidence, I guess. On Friday, I did finally get to pick up the car. I don't know why it took them this long because they had me call and schedule what day to come in, so I'm not quite sure. Basically, the back driver bumper section of the car needed to be repaired and like the headlight cover needed to be replaced and stuff, but it wasn't an extensive repair. After that, I picked up a prescription because my pharmacy is like right near where the car place was. And then when I got back home, I did some drawing. I was watching YouTube while I did this, which I really like to do. I like to either listen to records or watch YouTube while I draw if I need to be in like focus mode, because I feel like sometimes a TV show, unless it's something I've seen a ton of times, will really take my focus away. Next thing I marked again was that I was in a ton of pain. So this day I had like a headache and body aches. I don't know what was going on with me. I have several chronic illnesses and this year has just been a shit show of something flaring up at any given time and sometimes more than one thing, and it's been hard. So that's part of why I haven't really had videos, is because I have been feeling so bad and I don't really want to film when I am feeling like crap. So after that, I did watch Righteous Gemstones. I can't remember what day of the week they were coming out on, so I think I might have just been watching through it at this point because I hadn't seen it at all, but I started watching it like as the most recent season, which I think was the last season of the series, was releasing. So yeah, that show is really good. I think it is funny, but I think if you have like a church background, especially like have attended a mega church, it's maybe not as funny. Like, I enjoyed watching it and I was very invested in the characters, and but some of it I was just kind of like, oof, which I don't really want to get into it. It has nothing to do with the churches that like my family took me to growing up. So then I did some planning while I was watching that. I watched You again, and then I marked Egg Brain because I had scheduled a FaceTime with Sarah and Christine, and then I forgot. Like, we scheduled it, we picked a time, and then I like just completely spaced out and forgot about it. And my computer like had my text messages window open in the background, so they were messaging and I didn't get any of the notifications. So whoops, I felt very silly, but it's okay. They've been friends with me for quite a long time, so they were just like, okay, well, maybe she's sleeping or something, you know. Nope, just zoned out. On Saturday, I didn't really need to use an extender, but I wanted to use more of the boxes, and like I needed an extender this day, so I just tried to use bigger boxes on this day. So the first thing I marked is that it was Max's birthday, which Max is Max Arfston from the Columbus Crew, also known as Croissant Boy by a couple people in the community, because Domi and I like talking about his hair looking like a croissant. Anyways, his birthday / croissant day. And then I did have Dunkin' breakfast and coffee with my husband this morning, and then we played some video games together. Let me actually look and see. So I guess we played this game called Brothers, but like there's a subtitle to it and I can't remember what that is. So we were playing that, and then we played this space game, and I think that was it this day. I don't know why I started laying stuff down before I even like finished the boxes. I don't know what I'm doing. I said this was gonna be a mess, and I was definitely right. After video games, we did watch It's Always Sunny. We had Panda Express. Then I did watch the Crew versus Miami game, so that wasn't fun. And then I did FaceTime Sarah this evening. I had a sob sesh, which was unrelated to like the Crew game. And then I watched some You. I mean, not that there's anything wrong about crying about soccer, but like this one was not that dramatic. Just had some other stuff going on. But Sunday was 420, which is the reason I used this kit. It was also Easter, but I guess I kind of marked it. So I slept terribly. I did have a gummy this day, which like I would have had it regardless because I was in pain. And then my husband and I went to my in-laws' house to have like an Easter meal. I feel like we always call it Easter dinner, but it's kind of a late lunch. So we had that, and I was still in just a ton of pain. So I did my best, but I was ready to go home just because I was feeling so bad. And so we went home. I was feeling really down that evening, which might have been related to the fact that Brian was packing, which is the next thing I marked, because he was going on a work trip to Salt Lake City, which is like where the company he works for is based, but he has always worked remotely, so thankfully we did not have to move to Utah. After he got done packing, we did have dinner together and watched It's Always Sunny again, and then I was just binging You. I did, I guess, plan a base this night. I've been really liking that I'm doing my bases off camera because no one said that they missed them, because filming them is so much work and it takes me a lot longer. Like I sit and I plan what I'm putting where and all this stuff for a long time before I even sit down to film. I think it's just fun to do it off camera personally. So Now I don't know what to talk about. I think this will be my next video that goes up, but I am thinking of doing like a planner update video so I can kind of update how I'm using my planners. I haven't really showed my Hobonichi. I have not showed my media journal at all because I filmed a setup and I lost the footage, and I have not wanted to go back since. I'm also waiting for some stickers for that. But anyway, I am going to potentially do some sort of update video. So if there's anything specific you're interested in with that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to wing it. And I feel like I need to ask for questions or something because people said they wanted me to film like all the weeks, even if I'm not doing anything, but I don't always know what to talk about. Like, I don't know what to talk about now. And I feel like there's a lot of weeks like that. I'm not sure if I planned them all already or if they're upcoming, but it's just hard when you don't have any kind of like event in the week. For this, I just cut up the date numbers from the foil bundle because I may as well. I don't use Hunter like as a core foil like this as often, so figured I wouldn't need the numbers necessarily. These are from Once More with Love, so like I guess some of these are from other shops. That's from the Coffee Monsters Co. as well as that. But yeah, most of this stuff is really from the same places. This is also the Coffee Monsters Co. So for our Easter dinner, I didn't have a script that said that, so I just used an Easter one since I hadn't marked that. I'm just gonna put everything down and then I will come back and show this in my planner because I really don't have anything else about this week to say. That is from Joy of Planning though. So this is my week in full. I am actually really happy with how it turned out. I had a lot of fun using this color scheme. I think the foil turned out really well, so I'm super happy I did Hunter for it. Well, Hunter and Pink Hollow. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully sooner than last time. Bye.